Hey, manifestors! It's your homegirl, the manifestation goddess, Nadia Victoria. How is your Thursday going? It has been Cinco de Mayo, and I know y'all have been out having a little margaritas, little shots of tequila of any kind. What's your favorite tequila? Is it Don Julio? It Patron? Is it um was it Herradura? So many different types. What's your favorite type of tequila? Put it in the comments. Let me know. Did you have some today, or did you skip over? Well, either way, despite it being Cinco de Mayo, it is also Thankful Thursday, and I am thankful for each and every one of you for coming to hang out with me for this period of time. Forgive me again. I tell you guys all the time, this Atlanta pollen, it gets to me. My throat has been itching, my eyes have been blurry. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to read one of these Louisa Hay cards. So Spirit, I ask you now to come in. I invite you in to, just kind of guide me through this session, this time with my viewers. I ask that you help me to tap into their energy and be able to give them something that will help them through the rest of this week, the rest of this month, and even more so through the rest of their life. Let it, what I say, through your influence and through your impact, light their path and light their hearts, their minds, their spirits to change for the better. God, I thank you. I yield myself to you now. I give you full authority and full permission to speak through me. Thank you. Amen. Now, God, as I shuffle these Louisa Hay thoughts, these power thought cards, I ask that you give me something in these cards that's way too many. I just want one, God, that will resonate with the people that are watching this video today, oh God. And here we go. We got this purple card. It's kind of sticking out over here in case you didn't see it. Ooh, these sinuses. But I am willing to forgive. That's what it says. I am willing to forgive. And I know because of the color scheme, it is possibly a little difficult to read it. And me with my blurry vision from this pollen just getting in. But it says, forgiveness of myself and others releases me from the past. Forgiveness is the answer to almost every problem. I'll read that again. Forgiveness of myself and others releases me from the past. Forgiveness is the answer to almost every problem. Forgiveness is a gift to myself. I forgive and I set myself free. I forgive and I set myself free. So that kind of goes back to a lot of the things we've been talking about. From childhood sexual trauma, from childhood physical abuse, from anything you experienced as a child at the hands of an adult who was prepared or ill prepared to guide you and direct you because of their own issues. Anyone that may have hurt you, it is so important that we forgive. I was literally just talking to this young man at the bar tonight, and I hope you're watching because he did subscribe. And I was just listening to his story. His mom passed at a very young age, and his father, who he, was hoping that after his mother died, they would have a strong relationship. They didn't necessarily develop that. But him trying to reach out to his father and show him love, he gave a lot of himself to his father, but he didn't get it back in return. So my thing to him was, you know what? I want you to do as I did. I want you to go back to that childhood state that you were in. And I want you to um, feel that, but I also encourage you to, as you're feeling that, I want you to look at your father, but I want you to look at your father, your mother, and I want you to see them in the context of who they are and who they were at that time. And I explained to him that I had to do that as a part of my journey. And I explained to him that, as I've also told you guys, that when I was at UGA, we were taught in order to be effective social workers, therapists, counselors, that we needed to do counseling and therapy ourselves. So, in my counseling and my therapy, my therapist always asked me to look at things in the context in which the people who were responsible for raising me, look at the context in which they were in. So I looked at myself being born in the time frame that I was born, and my grandmother had literally died a few months after I was born. And so I can only imagine what that was like for my mother, birthing her third child, baby, new baby. Your mother has been your babysitter, and now she's gone. So you're not only dealing with the death of your mother, but you got me, a new baby here, and you're trying to figure out, okay, so now who's going to watch my baby for me so I can work and provide for my baby and my other kids. So, losing a mother is a very difficult thing, especially if that mother if you and that mother-daughter bond or that mother-son bond actually materialized, because there are people who have parents that were not there for them, so when they die they don't feel any they don't feel any kind of, it's like an indifference. But if you had a close relationship with your mother and your father, to lose them is very difficult. It's a life-changing experience. I haven't lost my mother, thank God she's still here today. But when I think about losing my father and what that was like for me, it's very challenging, and it's not something that anyone can understand, and it's not something that you get over overnight. That's not something people can just pat you on the back and say, okay, you're gonna be okay. No, you have to process this in your own time and in your own way. But I'm so thankful of my spiritual maturity, because now I connect to my father in a totally different way. You know what I'm saying? So I have a higher understanding of spirituality. So I don't necessarily always feel that my father is gone. I feel the presence of him, and therefore that brings me joy. Whereas some people haven't gotten to that spiritual level yet where they understand that, you know what, I can still have a relationship with my loved one even though they're not here, because they're a spiritual being. And I can connect with them through my dreams, and I can connect to their voices just if I sit still quiet long enough and I develop that muscle. You know, my friend girl Delia used to tell me, Nadia, it's like a muscle, you got to work it. And this is like going in the gym. Um, you might go in there 20, 30 pounds overweight, but if you work at it, you will develop that body that you want, right? You will eventually tone up your arms. Eventually, your abs will develop. Eventually, the fat will turn into muscle, right? So it's the same with spiritual development and intuitiveness. You know, it's a it's just like that. You have to work it, and you have to be dedicated to it. And when you become dedicated to it, you'll start getting the inclinations. You'll start hearing. You'll start having the visions. You'll start having the dreams. But if you do it for a week or two and you shut it down, then you won't. You will never get there. But I was talking about uh, getting to a point of putting things in context of, hey, yeah, I had a horrible upbringing, but you know what? I'm at a place now that I can look back and not be hurt by it because I'm putting things in context. I understand that the reason my mother didn't love me and was not affectionate to me is because she was going through her own shit. It wasn't about just her not wanting to show me love and affection, but she was going through a divorce. She was going through the loss of her mother. She was working hard. And so for this young man, at the age of 12, when you lost your mother, and then you were looking to your father for help, I can only imagine what it was like for you, 12 years old, your mother is gone. You're being brought in by the state, and now you're looking to your father to come and step up to the plate and take you in, but your father is a torn and broken individual himself. So he did not have the understanding, the means, or the capability to do this thing. And so I look at this person spiritually and I see, like I've told you guys, you have accomplished so much. And he has accomplished so much. He is in the management position in the hospitality committee. I keep saying committee. What the hell? I think I'm in church or something. I don't know. In the hospitality industry. And he's been in it for years. And it's almost like he's almost lost himself in it because he does it all the time and it takes him away from even being able to eat a real meal. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. So he finds himself late night sometimes eating because you've been working hard all day long. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But what is important is that tonight we had the opportunity to talk about, yes, you have accomplished a lot in life, but you haven't accomplished that which you really desire, what you really want out of life. And you've gotten to a point where you don't even want kids because, you have been a victim of losing your mother and having a father that's not been the type of father figure that you would expect. So now you kind of shun away from having kids because you know what? If this is what having kids is like, I don't want to have any. I don't want my kids to feel like what I felt as a kid. So no, I don't even want kids. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people who've had to um, step up as teenagers and be adults, like they don't want kids because they've already been a parent. They've been a parent since they were 13. They've been a parent since they were 14. Like, why the hell have kids? Because I've been raising my little sisters and brothers since I was 13, 14 years old. Like, what the hell am I going to do with kids? These are my kids. My sisters and my brothers are my kids. Hell, I'm already raising kids. Like, what? You know? So, um, so I understand where he's coming from. But my thing to him was, in order for you to heal, to truly heal, you got to put things in context. When you take the time and try to put things in context, you'll have a better understanding of your parents or your caregivers, whoever they may have been, and why they did things the way they did. I look at 1976. My mom, born in the 40s. So she grew up picking cotton. She grew up having to be a hard worker. She grew up with siblings and all of that. And they all had to do their chores and contribute to the household by picking cotton. And then they went to school. And my mom was an amazing basketball player. Her and her sister Fanny, Annie and Fanny Carswell, amazing football. I'm sorry, not football, Jesus. Basketball players, and they got trophies literally in the Swainsboro High School in the thing I remember seeing them when I was a student there. So they went hard at a lot of other things because, they had to. That was their escape. Like, I mean, I'm working hard in the field and I'm trying to be, good in school and I'm saying? But I can really play basketball well. So, you know what I'm saying? That's where they put their heart and their passion into. And this young man and me, I look at us. What do we put our heart and passions into? I wasn't good at basketball. I tried it, trying to follow in my mom's footsteps, but that wasn't for me. Um, I was better at band. You know what I'm saying? I was better at being a flag girl and dancing and, doing the little moves and all that. Hey, I can do all that, but basketball wasn't, I tried, like I said, wasn't my thing. But we all put our hearts into something as an escape. And I see him and I feel like he puts his heart into his work. Like that's his thing, like working long hours or whatever. That gives him the most satisfaction. Putting his money into stocks or whatever. That gives him the most satisfaction because it takes him away. It's what took him away from, where he was raised. It took him away from the hurt and pains of the environment in which he was raised. So he's carried that into his adulthood. So my thing to you is, what's your thing? What did you do to escape the pain, the hurt, the environment in which you were born and raised? And what are some of those things that are still kind of lingering in your life today that is, again, it has kept you from having to look back a lot of times at where you came from, but it's still affecting you from moving forward. So we develop these coping skills that helps us to cope with our past by not looking at it or, kind of numbing it, but it doesn't take away the actual experience. Nor does it really take away the pain. It's just numbing it. It's just like going to pain management. Like I have back issues, so serious pain in my back from a number of accidents and falls and all that kind of things. So I literally can take pain medication for my lower back, and it will help, and it will numb that pain for a couple of hours. But that pain is gonna come back when that medication wears off. So either I'm going to have to take another pill or I'm going to have to deal with pain. Okay? So that's the same thing in life. Like underneath, those issues are still there. That pain is still there. You're either going to numb it and ignore it by working all the time and by vacationing all the time or by doing drugs all the time or by, having sex all the time or by manipulating people and hurting people all the time because I'm a hurting person. But the pain is still there. You're just doing other things to not address your pain. So, how are you dealing with your childhood wounds? Are you numbing them by using drugs? Are you numbing them by running from relationship to relationship? Are you numbing them by engulfing yourself in your work and working extremely long hours so you don't feel the loneliness, so that you don't have to face the fact that your family, your childhood was really screwed up? What are you doing? So my thing to him, my thing to you, as it has always been, is to connect the dots. Connect those dots. What is it that you're numbing? What is it why do you work all the time? Why don't you have someone significant in your life? Why have you run away from significant relationships and meaningful relationships and commitment and loyalty? Is it because your mother didn't show you loyalty? Is it because your wife or you that first girl that you dated in high school and you really cared for? Because when I think about men, like I say all the time, not many of you love a lot of different women. So the ones that you really actually loved, all it takes is one to really break your heart, and everybody else has to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So what is it? And don't let it be your mother, because if your mother broke your heart by abandoning you and leaving you with your grandmother, or allowing you to go into foster care, or or whatever, then you really develop some really harsh um, reactions in life. Because, again, I tell you guys all the time, this stuff is out of order when your mom doesn't love you, when your dad isn't there for you. So when those things are out of the order in which, you know, human development is, you have a mother, you have a father, you have, you know, your mom is supposed to be nurturing, your father is supposed to be this, and blah blah blah. If those things are completely out of order and your mom doesn't show you love, and you wind up in foster care, you wind up being adopted, you really begin to feel like, you know what, if my own mother doesn't love me, how am I to expect this person to love me? So you really have to do the healing. You really have to heal that. I don't care if your mother has died and gone on the other side. You have to find healing within, and you have to be able to, like this card said, forgive. Because forgiveness is not for your mom. It's not for your husband, or your ex-husband. It's not for your boyfriend. It's not for any of that. It's for you. It's for you. Because if you can forgive them, and you can release that hurt and that pain and that past, then you can embrace the true you, your true meaning in life, your true purpose in life, because you can let go. You know what? My mother abandoned me at 6, and she let me go into foster care because she was running behind different men, or because she had mental health illnesses, because she was a drug addict, or whatever. Mommy, I forgive you. I forgive you. And I release my experience with you, because that experience with you neglecting me and giving me up will not follow me into my relationship with my children. And I will not allow it to haunt me in my relationships, where I feel like everybody else is going to haunt me. I mean, to leave me. So I'm releasing that. I will not let you haunt me. I will not let my child. I will not let my childhood haunt me to believe that everybody that I encounter is going to leave me. For I know that I'm worthy and I am deserving of love. And I know that in order for me to truly reach the highest version of myself and to reach success in life, is the only way I can do that is to heal from that and release it, release that pain, and not let it interfere with my future. Mommy, you broke my heart at 12 when you left me. Mommy, you broke my heart at 7 when you left me with my grandma to go do drugs, to go be with that man who was abusive to you, or whatever. I release the examples of love that you've shown me. It's not healthy. And you know what? I know I'm worthy and deserving of love. And so because I know I'm worthy and deserving of love, of a healthy love, I want to be healthy, so that I can bring my healthy self to another healthy person, and then we can multiply. We can be bountifully blessed. But if I hold on to those examples of what my mommy and my daddy showed me in their brokenness in 1975, when they were born, in 1965, or 1945 when they were born during the time of slavery and racism and they were picking cotton and their life wasn't even valued. If I hold on to that, then now I'm going to in turn instill that into my children. And I am deciding today that the buck stops here. This will not be a message, a lifestyle, a narrative that is passed down to my children. It stops with me. We are worthy. We are deserving of love. I am healed so that I can teach my children healthy ways of communication, healthy ways of love, healthy ways of getting money and finances. I can teach them about saving money. I can teach them about investing. I can teach them about, marriages and being committed and loyal and loving and being providers to their families and being loving to their husbands and husbands being loving to their wives and each of you bringing 100% to the table. I can teach you those types of things when I have chosen to heal and give up the examples that I saw. Yeah, my mama died when I was 14 because she was a drug addict. And my mama died at 14 because she chose, to eat unhealthy, or she had a heart attack because, the doctors told her over and over again she had a heart condition and to do this and that, but she chose whatever over me and not to take her medication. But you know what? I'm not going to let those examples be my future. I'm going to take those examples and learn from them, not become a repetitive pattern in this cycle of brokenness, cycle of death. I forgive you, I release you, and I'm moving forward. Okay? So that was kind of where we went tonight. And I pray for this young man. I pray, God, that you will allow him to heal from the loss of his mother at a very young age, a very ripe and very impressionable time of his life. Let him know that if his mother could do it again, she would not choose the life path that she chose because she would prefer to be with him. But now that she's gone, there's nothing she can do to come back. But only thing he can do is try to connect with her spiritually and put his heart in it. And to find, first and foremost, find you in his heart. Find you in his heart, in his mind, in his spirit. So that he can hear you, so he can see you, that he can feel you. And surrender to your guidance. I pray that he will forgive his father for not being the father he expected. And for not being able to be the father that he should be for him. So that he can heal and become the highest version of himself and experience true love in his life. And that, you will heal that thought within his mind that he doesn't want kids. I mean, he doesn't have to have kids, but just to heal that mindset that he doesn't want kids and the reasons why he doesn't want them based on his past. Help him to release his past and reach the highest version of himself because he was courageous and bold enough to heal and face his past with all motivation and vigor and determination to heal from it and let it go and release it so it will no longer hinder him and he can truly be abundant in all areas of his life. So God, I thank you. So I hope that you found something in here tonight. And I hope the margaritas didn't do more talking than I did. But anyway, it is Cinco de Mayo. Your manifestation goddess is about to sign off. All of the information regarding me, how to contact me, how you can always like, subscribe. And if you want to donate to this channel, the information is in the description box. Y'all have a great night. I love you guys.